Yeah, let's talk about that. You mentioned it. Vince is not here. He's suffering from about, I believe, of diverticulitis. Is that the way you remember it?
I think so. Yeah.
How different was it when he's not there?
So it can be one of two things. It can be great, or it can be like this, torturous. Uh, because he's not there and he's mad, and it's like he's not feeling well, so he's mad that he's not feeling well, so he's mad at that, and then you are trying to just get business done and get going, and in the meantime you're on the phone and you're constantly everything's being second guessed, and it's one of those people that's like, okay, I'll make the decision in the moment, but then have the decision second guessed because they're not there in the moment. This is brutal. So it was a brutal day. It was a brutal day.
It's written that this is the first pay-per-view that Vince has missed in over a decade, and he's constantly on the phone. He's actually in the hospital and he's unable to travel. So he's on the phone with Stephanie, Shane, Triple H, Jim Ross, and Kevin Dunn. They're trying to run the show. Are you just the monkey in the middle here? Like it feels like, you're hearing one thing maybe from Kevin Dunn, another
Oh
from
no,
Vince.
no, I'm on the phone with Vince constantly.
I got you.
It's just yeah, it's brutal.
And he's yelling at you, why are they doing this? And
Or
you're responsible for everyone.
yeah,
Yeah, not good.
no, at all.
Um, let's talk about the next match or the next skit, I guess we'll say, because we saw between matches between Luther Reigns and Charlie Haas's match, and then Rey Mysterio and Chavo's match, we got the JBL interview. Well, as a buffer after this Rey and Chavo match, we see Tori in the hot tub with various cruiserweights who say they've all won the right to be there. And Tori stands up in her bikini, and it's the American flag, of course, and she leaves. And Funaki looks right at the camera and says, God bless America. How much fun did you have with Funaki in segments like these?
Um, love Funaki. As a matter of fact, Funaki's son was in Corpus Christi, Jesse, and looks just like his dad. And it was incredible. It was just so great to meet him, and as respectful and polite as his father. It looks just like him. So I had to text show and say I just had the pleasure of meeting your son. It was a very cool moment. But Funaki's the best.
Here is maybe something that wasn't the best. Kenzo Suzuki is going to pin Billy Gunn in 8 minutes and 6 seconds with a low blow and another move that started like a reverse DDT, but dropping high on Gunn's back on his knee like a backbreaker. And here's the write up from the Torch. The crowd was dead. The show started falling apart here. Suzuki's push is that he's a personal project of John Laurinaitis, who saw something in him that nobody else sees. Can you believe that? Having never seen him wrestle, that this guy was booked to headline all summer against Chris Benoit before it was dropped because his planned gimmick was recognized as a bad idea. Negative 1 star. I do remember there being a lot of hoopla about his debut. And as a friend of mine says, then the bell rang. It went nowhere. What can you tell us about this Kenzo experiment?
It sucked. It was fucking horrible. Like, does he know how to work? Um, does he realize what the fuck it is we do? He was rotten. I mean, rotten. His wife had some personality, maybe too much, but holy cow, man. He did not belong. He wasn't, when I say wasn't ready for prime time, man, he just wasn't ready in anybody's category, any way that you want to slice it, man. Suzuki just was not, he just was not ready. He was not good, didn't understand. Um Rotten. Just absolutely rotten. No other way to say it.
You think he's going to go in the WWE Hall of Fame
No,
someday? What are the odds of that, you think?
zero.
More deserving of being in the WWF Hall of Fame, James Dudley or Kenzo Suzuki?
Oh, James Dudley 1,000 times over.
Sable and Tori are going to team together at WrestleMania 20 and defeat the Raw Divas, but now they're going to hook up. Sable versus Tori Wilson. It's a match on pay-per-view. 6 minutes and 6 seconds. -1 star. Not good. Finish wasn't good. We've got Sable selling like she's knocked out. Nobody's buying it. Wilson's not going to press it. Sable wakes up, uses a schoolgirl, turns Wilson over so far that one shoulder is nowhere near the ring. Charles Robinson still counts it down. That's the finish. The announcers have to try to cover. This is just bad. This maybe looks good on paper, but in execution, whew, okay.
They look good in the ad.
Yeah, great in the ad. Moving on, Dawn Marie is in a flag bikini. She's talking to Renee Dupree, who says that he got cheated. He's going to protest Cena's title reign, and he's going to hit on Dawn and offer to show her his French tickler. Then he starts dancing, and here comes the FBI. Next up on the same show as Kenzo, Mordecai is here, and he's going to beat Bob
Mordecai
with the razor's edge. Meltzer says, or I'm sorry, Wade says, they made a big mistake having Mordecai sell so much because it went from the powerful squash it needed to be to a boring match that hurt the guy who won. Holly was making the new guy pay with hard clotheslines, which is well and good, but that's not how you elevate a newcomer being geared for Guerrero and The Undertaker. After this, maybe they'll have second thoughts. 0.5 star. This Mordecai thing, this was DOA, wasn't it?
Yeah. We actually had high hopes for Mordecai.
Sure.
Thought Kevin Thorne was a decent worker, and this gimmick was kind of the antithesis to The Undertaker, and this was another situation where we looked at, hey, we'll create a opposition to The Undertaker, and then he can grow from there and move on and do some different things. Dan Madigan, who wrote See No Evil, was on the writing team at the time, was in love with Mordecai. He was from Boston. Mordecai. Dan was an interesting cat. Good guy. He lasted a lot longer than 6 weeks or whatever's from the other guy. But, it just didn't work. They didn't buy it, didn't like it. And this first impression of, working with Bob, where Bob's like, you're going to beat me, you're going to have to beat me. And shouldn't have been designed that way. And I don't know that Kevin Thorne was in a position, at that point of that stage of his career, to speak up and say any different. So that, I think he was failed a little bit on the production side of things from whoever produced that match and put it together. It should have been explained to everybody, look, this is to get this guy over. He needs to be strong. He needs to be dominant. And that didn't take place.